Welcome to the NCAA March Madness second round post-game press conference with Oklahoma. We are joined by Anna Yanusa, Taylor Robertson, and Maddie Williams. We ask that you please only ask a question when you have the microphone in your hand and that you state your name and publication. If you have joined us through Zoom tonight, please ask your question in the chat and include your publication as well. Thank you, and we will begin with questions from the room.
Hi, this is LT Willis with TT Sports. My question is to Maddie. It seemed like in the third quarter, you guys came out with more energy and you was able to get to the basket more freely. What changed for you guys during that time?
I think we were just able to talk about it in the locker room and just reiterate that we could score in the paint. And so that was our main focus for the second half, was whether it was driving to the basket or posting deep in the paint. That's how we were going to get the ball in the basket.
George Alfano, Oklahoman. For Maddie, did it seem like this year was different from last year in the second round, where you just had a lot left in the tank?
Yeah, I mean, this year we came out and we had more experience. We're getting to the tournament and getting into the second round, and mentally we were way more ready than we probably were last year. We knew what it takes to win a second round game. We couldn't get it up today, but we knew what it took.
For Taylor, were you hurting toward the end? I had seen you limp toward the bench a little bit in the fourth quarter.
No, I was good.
Joe Reedy, AP. First half, when they came out running, did that surprise you guys any? Just the pace that they had, and looked like they were hitting a lot from the perimeter early, too.
We kind of knew what they did. We kind of expected that, and just trying to guard them and keep them in front. And we knew that their guards were good, and we had to try to limit them.
And then Taylor, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc tonight. And it seemed like in general they were taking away from everybody a lot of the three-point shots. Was that just what they were doing on defense?
Yeah, and I think that we were getting a lot on the inside too, in the paint and cutting to the basket. And I think that was more of our focus, and just didn't get the looks outside that we all normally get and make.
And then just for all three of you, just how disappointing of an ending is this for you? I mean, you've all had great careers. I mean, three of you with 1,500 points or more, but just falling short.
Let's start with Anna on this question.
I'm not disappointed. I'm extremely proud of all the work that we've put in and just the things that we've done. We've grown a lot, we've learned a lot, and I'm really excited to see where OU women's basketball goes from here on out, and there's nothing to be disappointed about. I mean, it hurts, but I think we all could say that we're really proud of ourselves and what we've done.
We're going to go to a couple questions in the Zoom chat, if that's okay. Jenny Carlson from the Oklahoman says, the three of you did so much together. How will you remember each other?
I mean, it's been great playing with the two of them. They're some amazing players. I mean, how do you guard three people who scored 2,500 points a game? 2,500 points in a career. We built a legacy here, and we've left it in good hands. And we've taught the little ones everything that we can. So like Anna said, we're excited to see where it goes.
I think I'll just remember, obviously, how great of players T-Rob and Maddie are, but just the type of people they are. They're sisters to everybody. They're really good people on and off the court, and it's been an amazing 5 years to get to be alongside with them. So.
Playing with these two up here, I'll never forget it. Some of the best people that I know and some of the best basketball players I know. It's really hard to guard all three of us at the same time, and it's just been an honor to be able to play with such great players around me.
Sue.
How can each of you quantify the last 5 years? You've all been through so much. Obviously, two different coaches, a pandemic, continue to grow your game. How can you I know the game is just over, but how have you guys thought about how you can quantify the last 5 years as far as like your personal growth?
I think that the things that we've been through in 5 years, no one ever would have expected 5 years ago that we would be here, because we weren't great our first few years here, and we've grown so much over the years individually and collectively, and no one thought we would do the things that we did this year, and that just makes me so proud to be a part of it.
And then one more thing: do each of you plan to continue playing your basketball career as a pro in some arena?
As long as I can.
Same.
Yeah, same.
That's awesome. Good to hear.
Thank you so much. Oh, we have time for one more. Thank you.
Obviously, it's a disappointing moment right now, but with a couple nights sleep and some rest, how do you think you will look at this season, say, maybe in 2 weeks when you look back on it?
I would just, for me personally, I would look at all the different things we've done. We've overcame a lot of different things, whether that be injuries or coaching, we didn't have a coaching change this year, but overall for us, we've overcame a lot of things. And I think to look back on this season specifically, just the amount of growth that we've had and the amount of growth that we were able to help our younger teammates have. They're going to be so good in the next couple years, next year. And like I said, I'm excited to come back and watch and be a part of it still.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
As a reminder to the media, we still have 20 minutes left of open locker room.
Welcome to the NCAA March Madness second round press conference with Oklahoma head coach Jenny Baranczyk. We ask that you please only ask a question when you have the microphone in your hand and that you state your name and publication. If you have joined us through Zoom tonight, we ask that you please state your question in the chat and include your publication as well. We will begin with an opening statement from Coach.
Well, a couple things. One, you never want to end this way. And hats off to UCLA. I thought they played phenomenal, especially in the first half. They really took it to us, and they're going to continue on and be really, really good in the Sweet 16. I know that. I'm glad that we made it a game, and it was a great game for women's basketball, I think, especially in that second half, and that's what we want to continue to do is grow this incredible sport. And then it's really hard to follow those three seniors because they're absolutely incredible people who happen to be great basketball players. So I love coaching this team. I've loved coaching this team this last couple years, and I know our future is bright, but man, what a class that I got to be part of.
LT Willis with TT Sports. Coach, in the first half, you guys was unable to get to the basket, but then the third quarter you was able to get to the basket and make easy shots, and then it came down to a free throw contest in the fourth. So what changed for you guys in the second half?
Well, I feel like we were able to get to the rim, and we just didn't respond when we didn't make them. And we had a couple different, we had a couple missed opportunities at the rim a few times. And I thought they were hot from three as well. And so we needed to guard a little bit better. And especially when you're on someone else's home floor, you got to guard a little bit better right at the beginning because they can get hot, and especially in a game like this. And I'm proud of our response in the second half. I thought we did a much better job. I thought our pace was better in that third quarter. And that's the way that we want to be able to play. And then we needed to go back to that pace in the fourth quarter, and we kind of just didn't respond again the way that we needed to. And we got some good looks, and sometimes they go in and sometimes they don't, and you got to keep fighting. And I am really proud of us for continuing to fight. I thought we had multiple players step up and just keep playing really hard. Thank you.
Joe Reedy, AP, just Osborne's 36 points tonight. She was hot in the first half, and then kind of seemed like you took her a little bit out of her game in the third quarter, but how big was that three-point play at the end of the quarter that you guys were up 4, and that seemed to kind of quell that rally?
Yeah, there were a couple times I feel like we did some really good things, and then maybe we fouled and then put them on the free throw line, and then when you get to see that ball go in, you start to get a little bit more confidence. But I think she's amazing. I think she's a great player, and not that you can watch that much film in 2 days, but we watched quite a bit, and we're able to see that she's a phenomenal player. So we knew that 12 for 12 from the free throw line is pretty significant for a player to be able to step up in that kind of game. Talk about somebody that's got some confidence, and that's extremely impressive. And she's done kind of what these guys have done. Be able to really build something, and so no, I think she was phenomenal. I mean, those threes that she hit were pretty tough. They're pretty deep or end of shot clock, and we needed to guard a little bit better. But I don't know if it was anything necessarily that we did. I thought we did a better job making them play at our pace in that third quarter and be able to guard a little bit more. And sometimes that in itself can take some, players out of things.
And then just your 3 seniors that were up here. Mm-hmm. For a coach coming in, could you have asked for anything more from them? Because with experienced players and a new coach coming in, you really don't know how they were going to respond.
Right. And they stayed twice, They stayed the first time, and then they stayed after a year to come back, which really speaks volumes of the program itself, the people in that locker room. I'm really proud of that. And they're really special people. When you look at them, they don't hang out, but they respect each other. They are what America really should be. All different backgrounds, they're different people, their styles of play are different, and yet you look at them and when you ask them a question, they light up talking about each other. That doesn't happen. Typically one would be jealous of the other, and they just don't do that. They expect a lot from each other. They challenge each other. But man, they're beautiful souls, and they're people that are going to continue to impact this world in an incredibly positive way. And I think that's what I'm the most proud of. Secondary is the way that they responded at the end of the season and understanding what hard work actually is. And I'm really proud that today they feel like they worked really, really hard and fell on their face, because tomorrow they're going to get up and they're going to do great things in life, And that is the lesson that we got to learn, is you got to give everything you have, even if you don't get what you want.
I'd like to move to a question on Zoom that kind of piggybacks on that. Jenny Carlson from the Oklahoman says, can you put, it's about your three amazing seniors, can you put the impact of Anna, Maddie, and Taylor into words, mostly the impact on the program moving forward?
I can't. I don't know if I actually can put it into words, what they've done. When there's a change, and no one wanted to take over after Sherry Cole, not one person, and not me. I didn't either. And Joe made me. And we never made him choose. And you know, I think Sherry laid this foundation of wanting this program to be better tomorrow than it is today. And that's the same vision that I have for this program. That's the same vision that they have. You've pulled this out of someone's purse, thank you. But I think has the same vision, and that's what they just got done talking in that locker room, where there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of tears, there's a lot of, I'm sorry I didn't play well, and I didn't do this, and I should have done this, and there's a lot of that. And thank you for making us better, and all they said was, thank you for making us believe, and thank you for making us better. And that doesn't happen. And the chemistry that they have, the foundation that has been laid in this program, heck, if I could still play, I'd go back and want to do it all over again with the women in that locker room. And I'm just lucky to be a huge part of it. And that's the legacy that they left. Is people want to come every day. They want to come practice every day. They've learned how to work every day, roll up their sleeves. They're not too big. They're not too small. We've had our moments that we've been good. We've had our moments that we've really not been good. And you got to see all of that in one game today. But the legacy that they have left is to love what you do, love how you do it, and who you do it with, because it's the strongest human emotion that we have, and they love deep.
All right, we have time for one last question.
Jenny, were you surprised with the pace that UCLA played with in the first half? Because it kind of looked like your pace and style of game there for a while.
Not necessarily. I feel like they played that way the other night too. So it wasn't something that we weren't expecting. A lot of teams do that with us, especially in the beginning. Because we kind of go up and down, they do. And, I mean, they're a good team. They're a very good team, and especially their guards are fast, and they can push that tempo. So I don't think we were necessarily surprised what they were doing. I think we were kind of surprised sometimes at the rim, and then we didn't necessarily finish it. So I think defensively they're very good, and they did some really great things, and I think they're going to continue to be very, very good.
All right,
Thank
you,
you.
Coach.
You guys, thank you for covering women's basketball too. This room is really full, and that makes a huge difference for our sport. So thank you very much. Boomer.
Welcome to the NCAA March Madness second round post-game press conference with UCLA. We are joined by Charisma Osborne and Kiki Rice. We ask that you please only ask a question when you have the microphone in your hand and that you state your name and publication. If you have joined us through Zoom tonight, please ask your question in the chat and include your publication as well. We will start with questions from the room.
Sabrina Merchant, The Athletic. Charisma, you've talked about how much it means to you to play in this building, and you got maybe your last chance tonight, but it seemed like it really meant a lot to you today. What was the energy that you were feeling?
Yeah, I was super excited before the game. Just super proud to be playing here and playing for UCLA. The fans were absolutely amazing. Like, I was having so much fun out there. Just like the crowd was amazing, the bench was amazing. But I just went into the game just thinking, like, just play your game, play free, and I think I play best when I'm in that mindset. So that's kind of just what I was thinking.
And then Kiki, I know you guys have only been teammates for a year, but have you ever seen Charisma attack like that before?
I mean, every day in practice, she's definitely going at it. But no, this was incredible to see, like, you know, in what was likely probably Charisma's last game, probably just the energy and intensity that she brought to our entire team throughout the game. She really carried us, and I just had so much fun watching her go off.
Thank you.
This question for both of you young ladies. In your minds, as you was playing after the game and stuff, and you realize now you're going to the Sweet 16, what does it mean for you and also your program going to the Sweet 16?
It means a lot. I mean, I haven't been there before, so I'm super excited. I think, none of us really have been there besides the coaches, so we're ready. We've just been having so much fun. I think that's the key, and I think that's why we've been able to win, like just keeping that in the back of our mind and stuff like that. But super proud of the team, and we're just so excited to play in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I'd echo that, and I think obviously extremely excited, and it was a great environment and great win tonight, but we also know that we didn't come here just to get to the Sweet 16, so we still have more games to take care of, and we're looking forward to the road ahead.
Hi, Haley Sawyer from SoCal News Group. Charisma, I feel like we've kind of seen you come out of your shell since your freshman year, so what's kind of just been that catalyst for all of your confidence?
Yeah, I think just the work that I've put in, people helping me out, coaches, trainers, whoever it may be, I think just helps me so much with my confidence. And it hasn't always been perfect. There's been a lot of times where I've really struggled with that, but I think the people around me have just helped me and encouraged me and things like that. So it wasn't just me that created that confidence. A lot of people around me helped me.
This question for both of you. Steve Finley from the Culver City Observer and Culver City News. The crowd. Los Angeles is not known to see these type of crowds for women's basketball, but you guys have seemed to bring it all together. Talk about the feeling about the crowd.
Yeah, tonight I think the crowd was absolutely electric. Probably one of the best environments that I've played in at Poly, and I think that's just a testament to obviously our team and how we've grown this year, but I also think like the entire support staff and marketing group that works to get the word out about our games and works to get people in the stands. So it's so much fun to play in front of these fans, and we hope to continue that next year as well.
Yeah, I think marketing did such an amazing job getting people out. I mean, it's what, is it Monday?
Yeah, it's Monday.
Monday night. A Monday night, and to have that many people come out, like it's a late game. And that just means so much to us. And like our fans have just been so loyal this year. So we just appreciate them and appreciate the support they've shown all year long.
George Alfano, Daily Oklahoman. You know, when you're a kid playing basketball and maybe you're alone or something, you just try foul shots and see how many you can make. What's the best you've ever done as far as making free throws in a row?
My best is 42 in a row. But this is a funny story. So one time I was at LA Fitness or something with my dad, and I was so bad at free throws, like terrible. And he was like, okay, if you make 30 free throws, you get like ice cream or something like that, 30 in a row. And that was the first time I ever made 30 in a row. It was probably the first time I ever made 10 in a row. I don't know what happened, flipped the switch, and since then I've been pretty good at free throws.
Joe Reedy, AP. Charisma, how big was that three-point play at the end of the third quarter? Because they go up 4, go on an incredible run, and then you kind of look like you were patiently waiting to drive the lane and then put it in, and it was a 1-point game going into the fourth.
Yeah, I think it was big. It helped us with our momentum going into the fourth quarter. Honestly, I was just thinking attack, because I was getting to my pull-up and they weren't really going in a little bit in the third quarter, so I was just thinking, how can I get to the basket? So, yeah.
And then for both of you, South Carolina's up next on Saturday. I think you're one of only 4 teams to hold them to single digits in victory margin based on how you've adjusted against teams the second and third time. Like Stanford, how much confidence does that give you going into Saturday?
Yeah, I think we have a ton of confidence going into Saturday. We know that we held them to a close game when we were played down there the first time, but we also know that we're so much better this time around. And I think everyone on our team has grown in so many different ways, and we've just collectively as a group gotten so much better. So I think we have no doubt or no lack of confidence going in just because of the 1 seed.
Yep.
Duke Nguyen with the LA Times. Is it me? Okay. Kiki, what was your reaction to seeing Charisma get that and one at the end of the third quarter?
Yeah, that was a huge momentum shift for sure, and I think I was just so excited to see Charisma attack the basket and for her to get that tough finish. And I think there's so much throughout the game. She was just, really putting the team on her back. And for us to, they went on a run, and for her to get that huge bucket to give us some momentum going into the fourth, it really was, it was just great to see. And I think it gave all of us confidence going into the fourth quarter.
Charisma, what were your emotions as Coach Corey subbed you off for the last time?
Oh, that's a good question. I was just excited. I was in shock. This is crazy that we're going to the Sweet 16. It was just such a great win. So I think I was just so happy. I don't even know what I was thinking. I really just was super happy that we had won the game. And it felt like such a team win. So just to go out in Pauley this season that was just a great feeling.
Hey, ladies, congrats. Miriam Swanson with the LA Daily News. I'm going to follow up on the South Carolina tip. So obviously getting to the Sweet 16, great accomplishment. Opportunity to play South Carolina, big deal. That is South Carolina waiting for you next. Do you like that?
Sorry?
Do you like that it's South Carolina next?
Yeah, I think we all love that. Obviously, we weren't able to finish the job in the fourth quarter the first time, so to get another shot at them when we feel like we've gotten so much better is a great opportunity for us. And we're not scared that they're the number 1 seed. We have no doubt in us, and we're just excited to go down there and play our game.
Yeah, and even I think when we played them the first time, and other teams even the first time, we were only playing 3 quarters or 2 quarters, and I feel like now we've been playing 4 quarters, so it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait, honestly.
Can I just ask you guys, you talked a lot about being loose and having fun. When you see a big lead go away, usually that kind of makes you tight, right? How were you guys able to kind of stay loose throughout?
Yeah, it was obviously we were up by a good amount at half, and we kind of gave up that lead pretty quickly in the third quarter. But I think just continuing to have confidence in what got us that lead and what's gotten to that point in the game. So just playing our game, not doing anything we don't know how to do, we haven't practiced, and we kind of just really focused and locked in on our defense, and I thought that's what we needed to do.
And I think a lot of the mental training that we've been doing, I think Coach Corey, Coach Tasha, all of the coaches, just really settling us and telling us what exactly we need to do next. Breathing helps a lot, but really just focusing on ourselves and not letting that get to us.
All right, we have time for one last question.
My last question to both of you guys is, when you go home tonight and you think about this, what does it mean for your program? I asked the other young ladies, what does it mean for your program to be able to accomplish such a feat? But it wasn't an easy game. You know, sometimes, you know, there's games where you blow teams, but when you have to grind it out, what does it do for you mentally to get you ready for the next game?
I think it just gives us so much confidence, so much experience. Obviously, moving forward, there's so many good teams still left in the tournament, and there's probably not going to be many blowouts. So I think it just gives us so much experience, and I think when we play teams coming up, like, we can look back on this game and say, like, we've been here before, we know what to do.
Yeah, and I think it just gives us confidence that we know how to pull out close games. And I think that's something we might have struggled with in the beginning of the season and even in the middle. And I feel like over these past few weeks, we've really figured out how to string 4 quarters together and just finish out close, tough games.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Welcome to the NCAA March Madness second round post-game press conference with UCLA head coach Corey Close. We ask that you please only ask a question when you have the microphone in your hand and that you state your name and publication. If you have joined us through Zoom tonight, please ask your question in the chat and include your publication as well. Thank you, and we will begin with an opening statement from Coach.
Well, when I was sitting in here listening to your conversation with the players, you know, you asked about, you know, Southern California not being known for big crowds, especially on a Monday night. You all deserve a lot of credit for that. And when the pairings came out, I sort of did a plea saying, please help us create buzz and tell the stories of these incredible young women. And you delivered. And so I want to say thank you to you, the media, but also to the marketing staff, to the administration. These things are really a collective effort. And we really want to be about a collective effort because we want to be about growing the game as well. So thank you to all of you. Really proud of our team. Proud of all the people that stepped up in the face of adversity. And, you know, even like the first half, maybe London Jones didn't have her first great rotation in the first half, but we wouldn't have made that comeback without her defense and a couple of pivotal plays in the fourth quarter. Gabriela Jaquez, I thought, was really gave us a huge spark and allowed us to play small and match some of the things that they were doing on their back cuts. And then Christine Iwala, I thought, you know, first half she was really big. And so I think that so many times you talk, you know, and rightly so, people like Charisma and Kiki deserve so much credit, but I think it's the people that step up in unusual moments and respond in uncommon ways, as we like to say, that led us to the place to be able to keep playing and have another opportunity to fight to go 1-0. And so really, really thankful, really proud. And, you know, I also want to compliment Oklahoma. I think I've really admired Jenny's teams from afar when she was at Drake and then now at Oklahoma, and really studying her team. I just, you know, they do really good things, and she does things the right way and really cares about her kids, and it's very obvious. And so, you know, we knew this was going to be a really tough fight, and so really want to compliment them on the way they're going about their business and how good their team is. So I'll leave it there.
How you doing, Coach? Steve Finley, Culver City News. Congratulations on the victory, and I know Coach Wooden would be very proud of you.
Yeah.
Now, what do you have to do to beat a Coach Wooden type program?
Well, it's so funny you say that, and I almost got emotional earlier today thinking about Jim Hill interviewed me before the game, and he was talking about the impact that Coach Wooden had on his life. And he said he got emotional driving in today and thinking about that. And I lifted up my sweatshirt, and I had my wooden shirt with the Pyramid of Success on it. And I think the thing that was made Coach Wooden so impactful is that competitive greatness was always a byproduct of the things done on the inside. And he always used to tell me, remember, Corey, you're not coaching people's jump shots, you're coaching people's hearts. And he said, and I always tell it this way because he had this twinkle in his eye, and you guys know if you've known him. And he says, but if you coach their hearts really well, their jump shots end up pretty good too. And so, but I think that it's inside-out coaching. It's transformational. It's not transactional. And I think I walk down that hallway every single game, and I look to my left and to my right, and I say, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful to walk in those shoes and to be mentored by him. But, the banners line the right side of that hallway, but he's not as proud of the banners as he has about the hearts.
David Yapkowitz from The Next. Hey, Coach. I probably sound like a broken record to you at this point because I keep asking you about, Lena and Christine and their development throughout the year, but, they keep coming up big in big moments.
Mm-hmm.
Just how important were they today? It seemed like, that early in the first half, Oklahoma was kind of frustrated with your size there.
Well, and their versatility. They're not just bigs, right? Especially defensively. We had to switch a lot of screens, and especially in the middle of the floor. And Lena's versatility and her ability. I can't remember if I shared this with you before, but I remember when Tony came back from Germany after watching her play, and he said, you're going to have a hard time keeping her off the floor because of her deflections alone. He said she's got this knack to trace the ball and just create havoc with her length. And, I think she would have done even more of that if she didn't get in foul trouble, but she has been huge for us. Maybe our second best defender throughout the year. But it's about what you earn, and they have worked. Christine has been working extra with Coach Tony and Coach Shannon after every single practice, and Lena has been doing the same. And so, and it's hard to do that when you don't see the rewards right away. And so, just really proud of them putting in the work, and it came up big today. We always say the work done in the dark always gets revealed in the light, and some of their work in the dark got revealed in the light today. I won't forget you, Sue.
Joe Reedy, AP. Corey, just two questions about charisma. How big was that three-point play at the end of the third quarter? Because it seemed like after a 22-4 run, that quelled it. And then, is this a dream finale? I mean, 36 points, career high, but it also looks like a single-game NCAA tournament record for you guys.
Well, I think, I teased her. I said, almost had a triple-double, 2 more rebounds with 10 fouls drawn. But I do think, to answer your question, it was really pivotal. I could see, you can see in their eyes sometimes when they're wrestling, like, okay, how do I get my mind right? How do I get to play present? And Charisma referred to all the mental training, but I felt like the light came back in their eyes after that play. When they came back to that huddle in between the third and the fourth quarter, I just thought it blew wind into their sails. And they were battling, they were fighting to be present and to get back to neutral. But I thought that play really pushed them over the hump mentally and emotionally. And so I thought that was it really was a pivotal play.
It also looked like on that play, when she dribbled, she was near you in the box and stuff. Did you say anything, or did you guys look at each other like, okay, I got this, just settle down?
Well, I did at every huddle. We definitely talked about it. She was so steady, Charisma was, and I think our team just needed that from her. I thought Gina's leadership, that's something that's not going to show up in the stat sheet, but I thought she was so steady, and our team looks to her. I mean, they call her the general for a reason, but I thought both of them, Tasha and I were talking, we're both losing our voices, and we're both usually the loudest, and they said, well, that's probably why they did so well. They couldn't hear us. They probably loved it. So I'm not sure, even if I was saying something to Charisma, I'm not sure if she heard me, but we tried to really keep talking about, we were trying to create different mismatches. There were certain players on their team we wanted to attack off the bounce, and and certain players we wanted to attack in the post, and they kept changing that matchup. And so Charisma and I, pretty much at every dead ball, we're trying to figure out, hey, let's create it this way. Let's try to attack it this way. And so, and I think that's the great thing about seniors, right, is that this is not a dictatorship. This is a collaboration, and player-led teams are always better, and you get to a point where you really are discussing it, and I want to know what they think. What are they seeing? And if they feel strongly about something, and specifically when Charisma's having a game like this, I'll give it to, I'll step back. Okay, let's go. If they really believe deeply, and we've worked at that. We watch film every week together, and and I think that that's at a point where you just trust your teammates and you trust your players, and you go to work.
Just kind of a small picture question to a big picture question. They were able to make a run. And just wondering if you could
Just a little one.
Just a tiny one.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering if you could talk about that, and then how you were able to respond, and then big picture, obviously this may be a few other games this season where the outcome was maybe have been different. So maybe does this reflect a big growth step for you guys too?
Well, I think the first part of the question being on that run, I think the learning thing from this is, like, when you go to halftime, there's so much energy and emotion leading into the game. And as you make mental adjustments, how do you also rev back up emotionally in the right way? And so I don't think you need to be, on 10 all the time, but you need to figure out individually, okay, how do I get back to an attack mindset? How do I make the mental adjustments, but then also play with great emotion and energy? We talked about energy and urgency being more important than anything else. And so I think that's the learning part, because that led to us getting on our heels a little bit in that third quarter. And that's something that we have to address quickly and turn around, which I think we can. A second part of your question?
Just maybe if this was kind of a learning
A
thing,
learning.
because in the past,
Yeah.
things.
But I think we've been proving that. I think now, to be honest with you, we feel really confident at the end of games. And I think, against Arizona, against Stanford, we played really, really well in fourth quarters. I think we've had several of them that we've conquered now. And so I don't think that's an issue. In fact, I think that we've been playing the last 3 minutes to end every practice. And when we win the last 3 minutes, then we get to go home. And so that's been something we do every day. And so I think closing out games is something actually we've turned from a weakness in that 3-game skid to now a strength.
Taking one with the LA Times. Corey, what were your emotions when you shared that hug with Charisma as she walks off?
I think I was really thrilled to be able to have just that moment for her, really, to come off the court and to be appreciated, and Pauly for all she's given to this program. And, I think I told Charisma this today. We actually had sort of a senior thing where just the coaches told them what they appreciated about them and what they believed, why we believe in them so much. And what I told Charisma is that this is so meaningful to me because we've wrestled through the struggle. Her and I have worked at our relationship, and I deeply love her, and I believe in her so much. And I think it actually goes even deeper because it hasn't always been easy. And I think that you build real trust when you're willing to enter into the tunnel of chaos and work through it until you come out on the other side. And so when Charisma comes off and has that kind of game and that kind of moment, and I just get a chance to hug her and tell her I'm proud of her and celebrate her, this program's not about me. This is about investing in young people. And so to see that moment and see the light in her eyes, that was just a joy for me.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and I'll do whatever you guys need to do.
Congrats.
Thank
Coach.
you.
When you guys went to South Carolina earlier this year, do you think you might come back, meet them again in the tournament?
It's so funny. Dawn has been awesome to me, by the way. And, we took a group of donors and alumni back there, and she talked to them all. There's been when we did a Bruin table talk, our players requested that she and Joni Taylor come on. She did it. So, I just so appreciate that she's been she grows the game, and she cares so much about the big picture. But when I was going through the line after the game, she says, "We will meet again." And, I would have rather it been in the Final Four, but, the reality of that is that I do think, though, our players have a great amount of confidence because of the way that they competed. They're better. We're better. They are a tremendous team. They're undefeated for a reason. They're really, really talented. But you know what? We're really talented, too, and we're growing in our confidence. And I think that we are – the thing I love about this team is that they really – I think I mentioned this before. They're really good learners. And so, I didn't know if we would meet them again, but I definitely wanted to learn some important lessons from that so we'd be ready if we got the opportunity.
Just a note to the media as we wrap up the coach close. Our locker room is closing in 5 minutes. Anybody need any time? Close the locker room. Going once. Okay, thank you.
Gavin Carlson, Daily Bruin. For those who have followed Charisma Osborne's whole career, they've seen her go down with an injury so many times, come back from that injury so many times. But I'm curious, from your point of view, you see her go down right as the lead's turned into an Oklahoma lead. You see her grab her wrist, and then even once you take the lead again, you see her go off with a leg injury. What confidence do you have in her, seeing her go through that so many times, being able to get back up and ultimately earn the win?
I just think she's too big a competitor. Unless it was really serious, she was going to find a way to come back out there. So I actually didn't worry that much because I really did believe she was going to be okay. And so, we've seen her just be a warrior. And I think that people don't understand. I mean, she had 36 points tonight, and that's awesome. But she always is guarding their best player. So, she held, number 30, Roberson, for, she was 0 for 3 from the three-point line. The number 1 three-point shooter in the entire, college, in women's college basketball. And, shout out from Steph Curry. Doesn't get any better than that. And Charisma shut her down. And then when 22 started getting hot, we moved Charisma over to 22, And so I don't think people understand that her warrior mentality. She's a great rebounder and great scorer, but you add to that what she does on the defensive end. I mean, that's incredible. And so when she shows that kind of warrior mentality all the time, I know she'll get up.
All right, and we're going to go to the gentleman in the back, and that'll be our last question tonight.
Oh, I got you. We'll take care of it. We'll take care of you.
Hi,
they hate me up here because I just go rogue.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations. Rico Cabrera, East LA Sports Scene. 2 quick questions, Coach, very quickly. Performance of Gabriela Jaques tonight. And, Saturday, of course, little things do mean a lot. She's always in the mix. And then, of course, the historic, I believe it's never been done before, but a sibling, brother and sister going into the Sweet 16 in the NCAA ever, and at least being also from Mexican-American heritage. So if there has been someone before, this is our chance to really, really follow them closely, brother and sister.
Well, number one, Gabriella has been incredible for us all year long. I mean, always ready, always working hard. She played every position today, 2 through 5. And she guarded multiple positions. She did all these things. And I remember watching Jaime Jr. his freshman year going, man, he just makes so many winning plays that don't show up in stat sheets. And that's when he was a freshman. And now look at what he's grown into. And then look at Gabriella. And I've watched Marcos and her younger brother and the way he plays football and basketball. And it's the same way. So I want to bottle up what their family taught them. But I think it's always most meaningful when you play for something bigger than yourself. And her pride and her Mexican heritage as well, representing and inspiring other people, and then the family dynamic, it just goes so deep. And when I was walking off the court, I saw Marcos just cheering her on, and I know the men's team was here. And I think that most meaningful moments are shared. They're not done on islands. And the thing that she's able to share with Camarillo, with her family, with the Latina community or Latino community both, is just so special. And I think it fuels her in a really deep way. All right, come on. Don't get me in trouble. Let's go.
LT Wilson, TG Sports. Coach, first of all, my question is, now that UCLA, Utah, and Colorado, everybody's Sweet 16, what does this say, first of all, for the Pac-12 conference? That's the first question.
Okay, Pac-12, I'm so proud to be a part of it. And, there's so much has been going on with, the Big Ten and the move with UCLA and USC. But I will never forget what the Pac-12 has meant for this program, for me, the people that have poured into it. I am so proud to be one of those 3 teams, and we don't represent anybody else but the Pac-12 conference right now. And 7 teams getting in, the incredible numbers, the off-the-chart numbers of our non-conference opponents, the genuine care for the student-athlete experience from the top at the Pac-12 conference. It really just means a lot. And I was one of the first people to like join in on the back the pack, baby, you know, like, and that goes deep for me. And so those memories and representing them right now means a lot. And so I want to continue to do that in a really solid way and do it with great gratitude and joy and perseverance and knowing that we represent something that's really special.
And my last question, what does it mean to you as a coach to take a team back to the Sweet 16 again?
Well, it's not about me. I think that's the number one thing for me as a leader is that this is not my program. I'm a steward of something greater, and I just want to love kids well, and I want to teach, mentor, and equip. And I'm competitive as all get out. This environment is where I get to do that, but it's not about me. It's about coaching people's hearts like Coach Wooden taught me to do. You bet.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you guys all. Appreciate you.